Okay, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're uncovering some incredible traditional Japanese cultural rules that practically engineer wealth. And then we're going to look at how to multiply that wealth using modern investing. It's a really fascinating blend of ancient cultural discipline and modern financial strategy. We're going to see how deeply ingrained behaviors in Japan, rules that most people there follow without a second thought, can radically transform how you view your money, your debt, and your daily consumption. So we're breaking this down into a two-part formula across 6 steps. We'll cover the $11,000 debt gap, rewiring your money brain, the art of resourcefulness, community trust in debt, why saving is not enough, and finally, the step-by-step growth engine. Basically, we'll build a rock-solid financial defense first and then launch a modern financial offense. Section 1. The $11,000 debt gap, a tale of two financial cultures. This comparison brilliantly illustrates the knowledge gap we're talking about today. The average American household is carrying around 11 grand in credit card debt. But in Japan, the average household carries almost zero. Zero. And get this, it's not about how much money they make or government policies, it's entirely about culture. Here in America, we often view debt as a tool, right? A way to leverage our lifestyle. But the Japanese cultural perspective couldn't be more different. In Japan, owing money is tied to a psychological weight called giri, which translates to obligation. Debt isn't just a financial annoyance over there. It's viewed as a heavy moral burden on your character. It literally means you took something you hadn't yet earned. This is exactly why Japanese credit cards overwhelmingly default to automatic, full balance payments, which completely bypasses that minimum payment trap we see so often in the US. They simply refuse to carry a weight they don't have to carry. Section 2. Rewiring your money brain, mental frameworks for wealth. What's super interesting here is how the Japanese train their minds to process numbers from childhood. Enter the soroban. It's the traditional Japanese abacus, and kids learn it as early as 6 years old. But it's not just a math trick, it's a thinking tool. By visualizing those beads, you actually rewire your brain to automatically calculate opportunity cost. So when a financially mindful person, let's call him Smart Sam, looks at a $120 jacket, his brain instantly does the math. He thinks, okay, that's 8 hours of after-tax work, or that's 12 months of compound growth. Meanwhile, broke Brian just blindly adds it to his cart for the quick thrill. Smart Sam doesn't even need a fancy budgeting app because his brain just does the math automatically. And that ties right into another amazing mental framework called Neidan Ishiki, or price consciousness. American coupon culture is so often about getting a quick dopamine hit from seeing a 20% off sticker, which honestly just tricks us into buying things we didn't even want in the first place. Neidan Ishiki is the complete opposite. It's the practiced skill of memorizing baseline prices across different stores. That way, you literally can't be tricked by fake sales or gradual markups. It's really not about being cheap. It's about being highly informed and absolutely refusing to overpay. Section 3. The art of resourcefulness, creative constraints. Let's look at how the Japanese save billions of dollars by actually embracing constraints instead of just buying hyper-specialized single-use gadgets. We've got two crucial concepts here, mitate and furoshiki. Mitate is the art of seeing what something else could be. Before you go out and buy an avocado slicer, you look at a knife and realize, well, it does the exact same job. Furoshiki takes this even further. Americans spend $3 billion a year on wrapping paper that literally gets thrown in the trash seconds later. In Japan, they use a furoshiki, one beautiful, simple square cloth that works as a gift bag, a lunch carrier, a picnic blanket, you name it. It's one single item with infinite uses. This kind of resourcefulness creates what is called the Uchimizu hierarchy. Uchimizu is the old tradition of splashing leftover water on the ground outside to cool the air down for free. The hierarchy works like this. You absolutely always try the free solution first. Hot? Open a window. Back hurts? Do some stretches. If that fails, then you try the cheap solution, and only when both of those fail do you ever pay for an expensive solution. In America, this hierarchy is totally backwards. Can't sleep? The very first instinct is to hop online and buy a $300 weighted blanket instead of just putting the smartphone away for an hour, which, by the way, is completely free. Ignoring this resourcefulness carries a massive cost. $12,000. That is what Americans spend on average per child every single year. But the Japanese osagari, or hand-me-down economy, slashes this number drastically. Because physical things carry history and memory in Japanese culture, there is absolutely zero stigma in using a hand-me-down stroller, coat, or desk. A kid gets a gently used winter jacket from a neighbor, and the $80 saved goes straight into an education fund, quietly compounding for 18 years.
Section 4. Community Trust and Debt. Bypassing the banks.
So we figured out how to save money, but the really crucial point here is that you don't always need a massive corporate banking institution to manage your money. Take a look at the Mujin system. This is a community savings circle where trusted neighbors or coworkers pool a fixed amount of money every month, and each month one person in the circle takes the entire pool. Zero interest, zero fees. It runs completely outside the traditional banking system. Now, Americans might find trusting their neighbors with their money a little terrifying, but they happily trust random Silicon Valley apps. The Mujin system proves that social accountability, the fear of letting down your actual community, is infinitely safer and vastly cheaper than paying some crazy 14% interest rate on a personal loan.
Section 5. Why saving is not enough. The transition to growth.
All right, we've built an incredible financial defense using these traditional rules, but saving alone, it's almost never going to make you wealthy. We have to transition to growth. There's this brilliant proverb that nails it perfectly. Saving money is like storing seeds in a jar. Investing is like planting those seeds in soil. Saving and investing are two totally different jobs. Savings protect your money from life's random, terrible emergencies, but investments actually grow your money. If you just leave your cash in a jar, nothing is going to happen to it. To put that into perspective, just look at this staggering math. If you save $10,000 at a typical 1% interest rate for 20 years, you end up with $12,200. Cool. But if you plant that same $10,000 into the stock market at an average historical return of 10%, it grows to $67,000. That's massive. The true wealth gap in our society isn't usually between people who save and people who spend. It is fundamentally between those who leave money in a jar and those who plant it in the market. Section 6. The step-by-step growth engine, your financial offense. Let's walk through the actual path to transition those freed-up resources into a long-term plan. The biggest barrier to investing isn't the math, you guys, it's the psychology. Investing just feels risky. So, your absolute first step is to build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund in cash. Once that's done, mentally separate your funds into two distinct buckets, safety money and growth money. Your safety money is that emergency fund. It's static, it sits there, and its only job is to protect you. Your growth money? That's your investments. It is expected and entirely allowed to fluctuate. Creating this hard mental separation dramatically reduces the anxiety of watching the stock market bounce up and down. Next up, remember that you do not need thousands of dollars to get started. You can literally start with $50 or $100. The real goal is building the habit. Skip the complicated day trading, skip the crypto speculation. Instead, focus on simple, highly diversified index funds that just track the overall market. Even Warren Buffett famously recommends low-cost index funds for almost everyone. The secret sauce is just investing consistently every single month and ignoring the dramatic news headlines. And the math behind this consistency is just wild. If you invest just $300 a month at an average 8% return over 25 years, well, check out that bottom line. You only actually contributed $90,000 out of your own pocket. But your total value, it's roughly $285,000. That means almost $200,000 of that is pure compound growth. If you stay disciplined during market drops, knowing that downturns just mean you're getting to buy shares on sale, compounding time becomes your ultimate growth engine. Ultimately, everything we've talked about today points to one profound realization. Integrating traditional Japanese savings defense, things like the Soroban mental math, Furushiki resourcefulness, and the concept of giri, with a long-term investing offense, ensures you aren't carrying a weight you simply don't have to carry. When you finance a lifestyle you can't actually afford, you are trading your literal freedom for an object. So I want to leave you with this final question to think about. Is the car truly yours if your freedom isn't? When you finally master both defense and offense,